Hey guys, it's Bree. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So today we're going to do pretty much a smoky eye with a Seductive electric blue liner. If you're interested in finding product details or how to achieve this look, keep watching. Okay, so first I'm going to start with brows. I'm going to use an e.l.f. dip brow pomade. You can find it at your local beauty store. It's really good. Taking an angled brush, I'm just going to outline the natural shape of my brow. While doing this, you need to make sure you're concentrating more on filling in on the ends versus you need to use lighter strokes the closer you get to your nose. That's a big eyebrow. This is a really big eyebrow. Basically, you're doing the same thing on this side. And I'm just using, I haven't dipped back into my e.l.f. pomade yet. I'm still using what was left on my brush for the front of my brow here. Alright, and I'm just going to take my spoolie and I'm going to comb my eyebrows upward because they are a little bit dark. And they look really big right now. But we're about to clean them up with concealer, so it's gonna get a lot better. I'm just making sure I'm blending and I'm concentrating more on the inside part of my eyebrow versus the tail end, which I do want to still remain dark. Next, we're going to conceal around the brows. That's why I wasn't that concerned about doing really horrible eyebrows to begin with. Just because you can always clean it up, make them smaller, make them look however you want to when you conceal. So I'm going to start with some LA Pro Girl concealer. You can find it at your local beauty supply store. It's like $3, $2 maybe, in medium beige. Now to conceal on my brows, I'm going to use a angled brush. They look pretty okay. I'm just gonna bring this out just a little bit more, and it just shows me if my eyebrows are even or not. And next, I'm gonna conceal the top of my brows. And a lot of people actually like to use a bit of a darker color than they would use underneath their brow, just because something like that matches their skin tone, because people are afraid of floating brows. But if you blend well enough, then you'll end up with a great brow no matter what. Great. And all I'm gonna do is take the excess concealer that I have left on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna apply it over my eyelid to create a base for my eyeshadow. Okay, next I'm just gonna use a clean fluffy brush and we're gonna blend out. And again, I'm just teasing the inside of my brow with the concealer so it won't be such a harsh line. It creates a more natural looking eyebrow. Okay, so next I'm going to highlight underneath my brow bone. I'm going to take my Anastasia Glow Kit. I'm going to use the pigment Amber Gold, and I'm going to use it directly underneath my brow bone. I like to do this before I use setting powder because I feel like when it's applied wet or onto, I guess, a tacky surface, it comes off way more pigmented. And I'm obsessed with highlight. Just like this. Okay guys, and next I'm going to set my eyes with a setting powder. I like to use Ben Nye banana powder. I think it's great. And all I'm doing is just putting it on a sponge and then tapping it on my eye. And all the setting powder is doing when you're putting it on your eyelids is making sure that throughout the day as you become oily, your makeup doesn't crease or anything like that. So we're gonna start on the eye look. First, I'm gonna grab some tape. And I like to do this little trick because it keeps your eyeliner and your eyeshadow super crispy, so you don't have to go back in and clean it up or anything like that. As soon as you peel the tape, like, everything is just perfect. And I like to apply it right on the corners of my eyes and to the tail of my eyebrow, like so, or maybe like this. Wow. So now I'm gonna go into my Morphe 35C 35O, my Morphe 35O palette, and I'm gonna take this color here, and I'm gonna apply it as my transition color. And with my transition color, I'm making sure I'm not going to blend up all the way to my eyebrow. You're gonna start a little bit above your crease and you're gonna blend upwards. Now we're gonna switch, do the same thing to the other eye. This is my first color that I applied. Alright, so next I'm gonna go in with the same brush that I used for my latest transition. And I'm gonna go in with the color directly above it in my 35O palette. It's gonna be this one right here. Alright, take the same fluffy brush, blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. Next, I'm gonna go into my Morphe palette. I apologize, it is pretty beat up, but it's loved, well used. So I'm gonna take this brown and I'm gonna add it into my crease. Remember, you want to be pretty controlled with your brush while you're blending your crease out, because of course we put those two other transition shades above it, so you don't want to blend it up all the way until you can't see them anymore. The second color that we used as my transition, we're gonna apply it just a little bit onto the fluffy brush. We're gonna go back above your crease color and you're gonna blend it just a little bit more. Alright, now that I have everything blended out, I'm going to go into my Lorac palette in the shade Jet Black. And I'm going to get a precise, it's not necessarily a fluffy brush, but it is a precise short bristle brush. And I'm going to take just a dab of Jet Black. I'm going to add it into my outer V. So this look is going to be a cut crease. So I'm going to use my LA Pro Girl in Pure Beige. And you just need just a dab. And I'm going to follow the natural crease of my eye. Now that I've created a base for my lip color, I'm going to go into my Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. And I'm going to use the color Geyser. Now Geyser is only going to go at the very beginning of my eye, where my brows begin. Okay. Now again, going back into my Juvia's Place palette, I'm going to use the color Dahlia. It's right here though. I'm just gonna put it where I left off with Geyser. I'm gonna go back in with the same tiny brush that I used for the black, my outer V, and I'm going to blend my gold and my black just a little bit more, to where there's no harsh lines where you can be like, oh well, this starts here, this ends there. You don't want any harsh lines in your eyeshadow. unless it's your cut crease. You want your crease sharp. Okay, so next we're gonna move into eyeliner. My NYX Vivid Bright eyeliner. And this beautiful blue, it's called Vivid Sapphire. Well, next I'm gonna do a black liner. This is Maybelline New York Master Precise liner, and it's in metallic. I've only left like a little blue peeking out on the inner corners of my eyes, and now we're gonna untape. Next, I'm going to prime my face with my Hard Candy Color Corrector Radiant Primer, and I'm also gonna mix it with Emery Photo Finish Primer. My favorite foundations right now is Black Opal. If you've ever had your makeup done by me, or I've just talked to you about makeup, then you know I preach, pray, love Black Opal. So I'm gonna go in with Rich Caramel, which is definitely not my color, but I use it to as I guess a pre-highlight. So I'm gonna put it in all the areas that I naturally highlight my face. So it's gonna be under my eyes, on my chin, lip, nose, and the center of my forehead, like that. Now I'm going to go in with my natural color, which is going to be chocolate. I'm just going to put it around the edges. Next, I'm gonna grab a foundation brush and I'm just gonna blend it all in. Now I'm gonna take some Kat Von D Lock-It Spray. I'm going to spray it onto my damp beauty blender. And I'm going to continue blending. It's just going to be more detailed with the foundation brush. All I was doing was basically spreading it around to make it easier to blend. Now we're going to highlight and contour. Again, just using LA Pro Girl. I like to use Pure Beige just because I like a super bright highlight. Right, and you're just going back in with your beauty blender that had just a little bit of your foundation on it, and you're gonna blend. Okay, so before I continue with contouring, I'm gonna set my highlight with my Ben Nye banana powder. Most of you know, setting powder is just to make sure, again, your under eyes don't crease and your makeup stays matte all day. I'm gonna let that sit while we start contouring. Now I also contour with my Black Opal foundation sticks. I use Suede Mocha and Ebony Brown for my contour. Suede Mocha is has more of a red undertone, I guess, which I like. It warms up my face, and then I add the Ebony Brown just to deepen my contour. So I like to be snatched. And I get just a little bit on my finger, and I'm gonna put it right there, so we can have that nice Michael Jackson pose. Cute. Take your same beauty blender that you use for your highlight and use it to blend out your contour. After I contour, I like to add just a little bit more setting powder to the sides of my nose, just to make it even more snatched. And that was Ebony Brown that I just put on my contour. Like I said, it's a little bit darker than the Suede Mocha, and it just deepens my contour. So I'm gonna grab my fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dust my face and get all this setting powder off. So now we're gonna cream highlight, and then we're gonna do a little powder highlight over it. So this is L strobing palette I really like. Gonna use a fan brush, and again, Anastasia Glow Kit. I think I'm going to use Hot Sands. I'm a really big fan of nudes and nude colors, so I'm going to use a NYX lingerie. This is in French Maid. Now next, I'm gonna slightly ombre it, and I'm gonna put another another NYX lingerie on top of it, and this is in Satin Ribbon. Here, and then here.